Hello YouTube, it's your boy Nathan coming you to do another recap video. Today we're talking 90 Day Fiancé The Last Resort Season 2, Episode 9. Nice guys finish last. Oh, I haven't heard that saying in a while. So yeah, we're gonna get on into it. Yeah, this episode was a little bit triggering for me as well. Again, there's been a few 90 Day episodes that triggered me, and this is probably one of the top three. Number one was that tell all back on Happily Ever After, that part two, and I think another one was on the other way, but this is definitely a top three triggering episode for me. Loyalty is a big thing. In every relationship, you want your partner to be loyal. That is like, you got to have trust and communication when you're in relationships. And I am a big fan of loyalty. We're allowed to have friends of opposite sex, and that's fine. But showing some boundaries and stuff, you know. But I'll get to that in a minute. So in this episode, we start off with basically, okay, Brandon and Julia have won a challenge to where they get to be in a honeymoon suite for a couple days. Well, Julia wants to have a party and invite everybody. Last week, she invited everybody, but Florian was in his feelings, got butthurt because he wasn't personally invited. So that sparked a lot of heated conversations with Stacy, and of course him and Jasmine have been going at it and whatnot. So everybody's at the party except for Josh. We left off with we start out with basically everybody telling Natalie what Josh has been telling them, how Josh needs somebody stable and less crazy basically, and all that and everything. And Natalie, she's like, she's hearing different things coming from different people about Josh. Now, I've been hard on Natalie all season, and rightly so, and I still am. But this Josh guy, he had left the resort a few weeks ago because him and Natalie had gotten into it during their little sex therapy session where Natalie flipped out on the therapist and him and all that. Well, and he hasn't been back since, so that's why he wasn't at the party. So if he really doesn't think Natalie's crazy, what she is, why doesn't he leave her? Why does he he keeps giving her a lot of this possibly false hope that they're gonna be something. He don't want to have kids with her. He don't really want to be around her. I think he just wants to be intimate with her. That's all that really is and stuff. So they were discussing that, and then Ari and Benny come. They came separately. Last time we seen them, they were flipping. Benny was flipping Ari off and stuff. And I'm just like, guys, this is why I didn't want to do The Last Resort to begin with, because I'm just tired of this nonsense and stuff. And so, Ari comes. She sees Benny. They get along at that moment and stuff and everything. And so. And then Gina comes in, Stacy comes in and apologizes to the girls about what happened last week with Florian and Jasmine and stuff. So, so now everybody's starting to party and stuff. And, someone asked Jasmine, what do you want to do tonight? And Jasmine said, I want to have sex. And everyone's like, well, Gina, let's go. Get to her. And then Gina's just like, now, because we have fights. One of their last fights that they had a couple episodes ago, and this is the first time I was kind of on Jasmine's side of this. Jasmine just wanted him to kiss her. She just wanted, he was laying down and Jasmine was like, kiss me, and Gina was like, no, you can't force me to do anything. I'm like, just kiss me. I'm not asking you to have sex, just kiss me. And he wouldn't kiss her, and Jasmine got mad about that, and that right there, I didn't see I didn't really see an issue with why Gina couldn't kiss his wife. Like, it's one thing that you don't want to be intimate with her, but you didn't even want to kiss her. That's a problem. That's a real problem. So back to this party, Brandon is trying to be like a therapist now and trying to like put Gina and Jasmine together. Like, Gina, come on, you have to be intimate with your wife and everything. And everything. He was like, when she does all the work, then maybe I will and stuff and all that. And Jasmine's like, oh, it's all me. So Jasmine brought up the idea a while, like 6 episodes ago, that talking about an open marriage. She was like, Gina, and she said this pretty calmly, and I was kind of surprised about it. She was like, Gina, if you're not going to give me anything that I want, I think we need to have an open marriage. And he was like, no, I don't believe in that and everything. And she's like, well, you're not giving me anything. She's like, he was like, I don't believe in that and stuff. And, and Jasmine said, well, you like to watch, adult film content a lot and everything. And, and I just can't do that. And I can't even, pleasure myself. I don't really believe in that. I need to have the real thing. It's been like 9 months since we were last intimate and everything. And he's like, well, then maybe we shouldn't be together. And that's kind of ridiculous. Now, I understand Jasmine said hurtful things to Gina, but 9 months is a long time to not be intimate with your wife. And like, you could at least try. Like, you could, I think Gina, yeah, there's really no excuse for that. Like, and I'm a Christian man, and like, they're married. There is no reason for them to go on 9 months without being intimate. Like, none. Like, he says he wants to have like a couple good days where they're not fighting and stuff. Okay, fine, but still, you need to try. You need to try. So Jasmine wants to have an open marriage and he don't and stuff. And I'll touch more on that later. So, after the party, they all go back to their rooms and stuff and everything. And they get a mess. They get like a thing up the door saying that pack a bag. To say pack a bag, we're going to have an overnight. We're going to have an overnight thing today. So they get on the bus, and when they get on the bus, girls in one van, guys in another bus or whatever. Josh comes back to the resort in this like flashy sports car, just showing off and everything. Natalie's happy, but not talking to him and stuff and everything. And so, they ride along and everything, and they get to like in the middle of nowhere, and they meet with this hypnosis therapist, basically. And basically, they're going to be going on they're camping overnight. So, and they're going to do this exercise. And the exercise is like the partners have to help like work together just to pitch their tent, put up their tent and stuff and everything. So, Jasmine was still like really, really depressed and upset about like what happened at the party and what Gino said and everything. So like she didn't really want to participate. Like she was like, no, my husband said he don't need me or want me. I don't want to participate and everything. And then so like Gino starts pitching his tent, and all the other couples are doing their tents and doing a decent job. They get it together. Nobody really had like a big blowout. And Gino's doing it alone. And while they were pitching the tent, like, Jasmine was just like, I'm not going to be neighbors with them and stuff, referring to Florian and Stacy. And then, like, and then Florian started, and Jasmine started just, like, going off with each other. You just talk, and everything. And I'm just like, grow up. And the therapist even said, well, you guys are all adults. And he was like, well, you know what? These men are babies and being babied by their wives. So that's a problem and stuff and everything. So when they were done pitching the tent, like Gino was still struggling. So Florian comes over and helps Gino finish his tent. And and obviously that irritated Jasmine. So Jasmine walks away and she escaped somehow, but she escaped into another tent and stuff. she was really depressed. She was like, I'm not gonna get in a tent when Florian helped and whatever and everything. And I'm just like, guys, stop, stop. So after that, they all sat down in a straight line and stuff, and they got hypnotized. The hypnosis therapist hypnotized them all, and she went through all her little hypnosis routines and stuff and everything, and she told them when they come back to Earth, we're gonna go around, and she asked the couples like, what do you remember at the time that you hurt your partner the most? What hurt did you hurt? What kind of hurt did you do to your partner before? And I want you to remember that. And what would you do? Take yourself back to that moment, and what would you do differently? So she started really with Brandon and Julia, and Brandon said, like, and we seen this on 90 Day Diaries. He had got hit when they got a new place or whatever. He had got his mom a key or something like that, and he didn't tell Julie about it. You know, his mom is a mama's. You know, he's a mama's boy, and his mom. We all know Brandon's mom parents are Ron and Betty are really in Brandon's life so much, and he gave his mom a key to the house without consulting Julia, and it caused like a big fight or whatever and everything. And he said that he wished he would have done that differently. Julia said this, and this is kind of what kind of surprised everybody. Apparently, like in the early stages of their relationship, they were fighting a lot, and Julia had went back to Russia to visit her family and friends and stuff. And I guess like Julia had met up with an ex, and they started like talking about possibly getting back together. And apparently, like, and this was years ago. This was before they were married, but like, and then apparently they were kissing. They didn't like. I guess they weren't intimate, but they were kissing. And Brandon sees that as cheating, and rightly so, because that is. So that leads me to my to the discussion about doing my opening monologue here. Why this was triggering for me is just because of two things. We'll start with Jasmine and wanting to bring a third into the relationship. I understand Gino ain't giving you none, and that's not fair to you. But you know, in his defense, like, you need to work on some things too, you know. And then if you worked on them, then maybe, you know, and not just one day, one good day. And the thing is that like you're more concerned in wanting to bring a third than try to work on this relationship and stuff. So I just don't, you know, bringing the third, like, it's just, and we're going to be seeing that on this upcoming season on 90 Day Fiance, and I can't wait to see what the storyline with the third's going to come out about. But that just, I don't know, that just really kind of upset me a little bit, because like I definitely don't want to share my woman with another man. I really don't. You know, there's just a fine line when it comes to things, and that's not one of them. And the thing is, she's going to be more adamant about that than her own marriage and stuff. And I'm just like, wow. And then Julia and Brandon, and when Julia is upset with Brandon, she calls an ex and talk about possibly getting back together and stuff. And with that, it's just like, and I've been in this situation as well, is someone really over their ex? I don't, I understand they need to talk, like people need to talk to some people, like when they're going through problems. I do it all the time. I talk to family and friends if I'm struggling with something, if I'm struggling with something in my relationship or something else and everything. Like, I talk to family and friends about it and stuff. That's normal. But I'm not hitting up an ex. Like, okay, I'm not calling the ex to say, oh, my current relationship's going bad. What do I do and stuff? Because my ex is going to be like, well, why are you asking me and stuff? And from guys to girls, like if a guy is hitting up his ex, she's just gonna be like, "Well, why you messaging me and stuff and everything." As to where if a girl was complaining to her ex about the guy, the guy would be like, "Well, you could take me back, like I want you back. I kind of miss you. Like you could take me back and everything, and we can, well, and everything." Because that's just what usually happens and stuff. I'm not, and I, and, I'm not saying with both scenarios it's like that, but and most of the time it is. And so like I just been in situations on both sides where just like I'm not the priority, like like a lot of people who I dated in the past have cheated on me and stuff, or preferred their exes, or bragged about their exes to me so much and everything. And until I got into my current relationship, I was just gonna be under the impression that like majority of girls do that and stuff. Thank God in my current relationship, my girlfriend is not like that, and we don't have that problem. But it's triggering that that your partner that you really love, that you value, who you want to spend your rest of your life with, wants to either bring a third into the relationship, into the marriage, or you have an ex that just because you're fighting so much, you have an ex that you are thinking about getting back with and start kissing and stuff. So like I said, with Gina and Jasmine, I understand Jasmine's frustrated with Gina. I be too. Like everyone's telling Gina, like Gina, if this is all she wants, then come on, at least try. I will admit that. But but Jasmine would be like, well, if you're not, then if you really want an extra new person, you're gonna have to just end it. Like just end your current marriage and your current relationship. It would just make it less. It would make it less hurtful than just to try to bring a third and just have them just sit there and watch and stuff and everything, because realistically that's disgusting. So I don't know, but that was basically the episode. We left off with Julia, and Brandon's pretty upset of what he heard, and we'll see the continuation of that. So but anyway, guys, yeah, that was the end of my review. I haven't done the last resort in a while, and like I said, I'm not doing every single episode this season because it's just making me cringe and stuff. And this was one of them and stuff. So, but I decided to do it anyway. But anyway, guys, I just did my review. I'll be back on tomorrow to recap Married at First Sight. So until then, y'all stay safe and have a good one. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see y'all again soon. Bye.